G'day aspiring engineers. Today we're doing part number 11 and you can see that things are starting to get a bit more interesting. What we're going to concentrate on today is having a bit of a strategy for how to make one of these parts, and you'll get the idea as we go. So let's turn on the point of origin of our document. Right click high up on the screen and get the sketch, create sketch. Notice what happens if I put the mouse down below on the screen and then right click, sketch. I've got to go up further on that second menu. So if you start up higher on the screen, right click, sketch, create sketch, and the flyout menu comes right out, right next to your cursor. And so there you go. Choose a plane and then let's get the line tool by pressing L for line, and let's sketch our part. Just nice and easy with horizontal and vertical lines. Click and drag to put that last curve on, and then the profile is closed, it colours in, it's ready to extrude. But we're going to do a few things before we extrude. Hit the D key for dimension, and let's put an overall height on our part to the corner there, and that's supposed to be 55. Let's put a width here that's 95. No, that's not 95, that's 38. Double click. When you make a mistake, double click and get it right. Now use the select tool, and we're going to move this around a little bit, and you can see that it will shift a bit. Want to select that little corner in there, hold down the shift key and select the point of origin of the document, click the coincident constraint, and we've got our sketch roughly where we want it to be. A few more things to do. Hit the D key for the dimension tool. We'll make the height of this feature 19. Let's put a dimension between the point of origin and the back end of the part. That's supposed to be 16. Let's get the size of this, let's get the radius of this curve, which is supposed to be 25, and we're ready to go. So hit the E key for the extrude tool, select the profile. Now we're not going to do a single-sided extrude on this one. This is what we've been talking about in terms of strategy. I'm going to change the direction to two sides and put in a distance of 22 plus 12 is 36 for one side, and then 36 on the other. And we've got the selected profile right in the center of our model, and you can see how that's going to help us because we've got the point of origin right in the middle of this part here. And now we can start to make the other features with reference to that center point. So we're going to make another sketch. Right click, sketch, create sketch, and choose the back end of the part, which turns to face you automatically. Hit the R key for the 2-point rectangle tool, put a rectangle down there, D for dimension, and the height of this feature is 12. Its width is 24, and it's 22 from the side. Hit the E key to extrude this feature. Select the profile. Notice that the little blue arrow is pointing out in the positive direction the wrong way. So what I'll do is, as soon as I put in the distance, which is 95, I'll give it the minus 95, and that gets it right. Okay, that. Sketch again. Create sketch. Again on the back of the part. What we need here is the C for circle, and start on the very center of the point of origin of the document. Put a line across there as well. Use the trim tool to get rid of that half circle. Hit the E. Before we hit the E key, we'll put a dimension on that half circle. And the radius of this is 16. And by the way, I've got the link to all of these documents, these drawings in the description below. Download that and follow along. So this sketch is finished. I'll hit the E key to drop us out of the sketch and into the Extrude tool. I'm going to select the profile and well, let's just try a very simple extrude from the profile plane, one side. I'm going to give it a distance, and the distance will be -16, and OK that. Now this is not exactly correct, and I want to show you something here. Because we've got this curve in the first sketch, and you look in here, you'll see that there's a little gap here. We can actually do something to fix that. So look for the extrude feature in the feature bar at the bottom of the screen. Select that last feature that we did, right click and edit feature. Now, rather than going from one side to a distance, let's go one side to an object. Click object, then select this curved face on the top of the part, and you'll see there that the gap is now closed. So that's what we want. Another feature that we need to do here is a chamfer on this edge. So right click, modify, and there's the chamfer. That's one way to get the chamfer tool. Another way is to hit the S key and put in the search field here, chamfer, there it is, and you can put the little up arrow. We've now got it in model shortcuts. So when you hit the S key, there's the chamfer tool. Select the edge that we want to operate on. Now there's a few different options for chamfers. There's equal distance, to distance, and distance angle. So we're going to use, looking at our drawing, you can see that we've got two distances there. So we'll choose the to distance option. Distance number 1, and you can see which one this is referring to by the fact that the blue arrow is highlighted and the other one is the next one. So this dimension here is 12. Hit the tab key to go to the next one, and this one is 6. Click OK, and that's the chamfer that we want. One more feature to do now. Right click, sketch, create sketch, and on the very back of the part, C for circle, and there it is. Only thing we need is a dimension on that circle. The diameter of this one is 12. There we are. Hit the E key to drop out of the sketch and into Extrude. Select the profile for the extrusion, and you notice that it's a distance of 16, and so because the arrow is pointing that direction, -16 will get us where we want to go. You might have noticed that our part looks like a component from a vise or some sort of a work holding fixture. So let's give this a material and an appearance. So right click and go down to physical material. And you see we've got an enormous list of things here: ceramics, fabrics, gas, liquid and metal. So this is obviously a metal part. Let's go into metals and scroll all the way down past all of the aluminiums, bronzes, irons. Here's iron, and let's say that this is just a very simple grey cast iron. I'm just going to pick any one of those. The way to do it is to drag it onto the part and let go. And you can see that it's looking a little bit like cast iron now. What Fusion 360 is doing is it's assigning material properties to this component. So it'll have a mass, strength properties as well. Let's also close that and give this an appearance. So it's cast iron, and well, actually let's go for a rough steel finish, because this is probably cast iron, so it's been cast, and we've got the sand cast finish on the outside. We could get a little bit more granular and put some satin finishes or machined finishes where this part has been machined, but it's a casting, so we'll start with this rough cast iron finish. Alrighty, and our part's done. Keep an eye out for the next one. The next one will be part number 12, and it's a similar one to this one. See you next time.